Just bear with me. I'll just set this on record. Yeah, we're on record here. Yeah, when you're ready then, Roger. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Hi, Ben. Commiserations on the defeat. Where would you say that was lost? Was that key over where you and the captain, Owen Morgan, went?
Yeah, I think that's, looking back on it, I think it's more, one of us have got to be there at the end. Leaving, that many runs for our bottom order to have to deal with, obviously, is less than ideal. I think if we're going to be super critical, it'll be, that one of our top order, well, in that situation, one of our middle order really needs to be there at the end, to get us over the line.
And for you, it must have been incredibly frustrating because you were going extremely well at the time, just short of 50 as well. Did you feel that the runs were there for you today?
Yeah, I mean, it's always frustrating getting out, even more frustrating when you feel like you've got the game in your hands. And yeah, I mean, rather than going away and being too down on myself, you've got to look at these things and assess them and learn from them. We've got a T20 World Cup coming up, and there's no doubt be put in a similar situation at some point in that tournament. So these are all great learning experiences for us as players. So hopefully we all go away and we do that as individuals.
I think after the last match, people were suggesting that out there in India, it was pretty much a case of you win the toss, you go on and win the match. What was different about today?
Oh, I think that definitely, hit the nail on the head in the first three games. I think the wicket and the conditions definitely changed second innings. Whereas this is the best, wicket we've had this series. We knew that straight away after the first couple of overs, with Jofra and Woody, where the wicket didn't have that sort of up and down bounce where it did the first couple of games. And the ball skidded on nicely. But yeah, you've got to give credit to India in the way that they bowled. They realised quite early that, taking the pace off the ball and digging it into the wicket was actually quite tough. So you've got to hold your hands up and congratulate India on the way that they bowled.
Thanks a lot, Ben. Cheers. I'll let the others jump in now. Cheers.
Will McPherson, please.
Hi, Ben. Owen, in the lead up to the 2019 World Cup, Owen was always kind of seeking these situations where you have a decider at the end of a series and, winner takes all. While I'm sure you'd rather have got the series wrapped up today, is that kind of a silver lining, I suppose, that you have got that kind of high pressure game on Saturday to look forward to and really show where you're at?
Yeah, I mean, look, in an ideal world, we would have loved to have gone into the next game, already won the series, but sounds weird saying that. We've got a positive out of losing is that, we go into the next game with a huge amount of pressure on our shoulders as a team, because whoever wins that game wins the series. So, that's great for us as a team, especially with the T20 World Cup coming up, because the more pressure situations we get put into as a team, the more that we'll benefit from it.
Yeah, these kind of, I know it's not a final, but final-like scenarios don't come along that often, do they?
Oh, I mean, look, it is a final, because if we don't win, then we lose the series, and we don't want to lose series. We want to win, and we want to make a habit of winning. And as I said, the more situations we get put into where we've got pressure on us and we keep prevailing, that's just going to do us the world good.
Rory Dollard, please.
Hi, Ben. Just if you could give us a word on Jofra today. He obviously he turned in his career best figures for the second time in the series, and then he's never actually been asked to bat before for you guys in T20, and he almost got you over the line. He loves those situations, I guess. Well,
I mean, he's a fantastic bowler, and you look at the skill that he possesses, particularly just talking about this form. He's got raw pace. He's got a huge amount of skill, and I think he's really showing that off this series. Bowling at the top of the order and bowling at the death, there's no harder thing to do as a bowler, and he's prevailed every time. So, yeah, huge congrats to him on getting his career best figures, but the things that he does on the field are becoming less surprising, especially with the white ball.
Dean Wilson, please.
Yeah, hi, Ben. The recollection from the 2019 was that the competition for places as that tournament approached really kind of pushed everyone to their very best limits, I guess, to make sure that they got a spot? Do you get a sense that that's starting to happen now with this T20 side, and that people are really trying to show what they've got to get a spot for that World Cup?
Well, yeah, I certainly think so. I would hope so. You know, getting into, you know, any of our white ball teams now is a huge honour. You know, purely because of how well that we have played over the last 4 years, 5 years even. So even the guys, you know, who are in the 11 know that there's guys who are on the bench knocking that door down. So competition for places in this team is real healthy, and I think it really drives everybody to get better and better every day. So yeah, we're in a really good place.
And do you feel, or do you think that things are as settled as you kind of want them to be in terms of people knowing their roles and things like that this far out, or do you still think there's a fair bit of tinkering to do, and maybe there are more questions from this series than answers?
No, well, I hope that everyone is still asking questions of themselves, and I hope Morgs thinks that you know, there is more work to do, because that's how you get better, is you're always looking to improve. And the more that, you know, as I answered the question before, the more pressure that we get put under as a team, you know, the more that's going to do for us in that World Cup. Because World Cups can end very quickly. Every game is a big game. So yeah, the more times that we get put under pressure, you know, just hopefully they keep on coming.
Cheers, mate.
Jack Skelton, please.
Jackie boy.
Okay, nothing from Jack. Sabayan Chakraborty, last of all, then, please.
Hi, Ben. I want to ask you about India's execution of the slower deliveries. I mean, you have already praised India's bowling execution, and Mark Wood also spoke about it ahead of the match. So is it something you are looking to pick up as a group for, say, for the World Cup?
The slow balls?
The execution of slower balls, the usage of slower balls, yes.
I think it's always great to have in your armoury, but you know, if you look at the way that the two attacks are based, you know, it's different. You know, we got three guys who bowled at over 140. We've got Woody who bowls at 150. So you know, you've got to use your strengths as a bowling team, and our strengths as a bowling team is bashing out a length. You know, at 145 of Jofra, CJ, and Woody as well. And on the other hand, India's strength is being able to expose the conditions with their slow balls. So you know, I'm sure India would want, you know, the pace attack that we have, and vice versa. You know, to have the skill that India have in delivering, you know, their execution of their slow balls is something, you know, that we know that when we come back here, that, you know, if we're able to do that as a bowling group, then, you know, we're going to be good.
Thanks, Ben.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much, everyone.
Cheers, guys.
Take care.